So how do we make saving energy less of a chore and more? Well, fun, engaging even.
Yeah, like turning it into a game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really the core of what we're digging into today, this whole idea of the global energy efficiency gamification market.
Mm-hmm.
You share this fascinating report from Cognitive Market Research. It's packed with numbers, projections.
It really is quite revealing.
So our mission today is to unpack what these figures actually tell us about this rapidly growing sector. And maybe more importantly, what it signals for how we all interact with energy.
And it's fascinating because we're seeing a move beyond just talking about energy efficiency as like a good idea.
Right.
These numbers show a really solid, fast-expanding market. It proves that putting game-like stuff onto something critical, like energy use, well, it's not just catching on. It seems to be actually driving real change. It taps into our basic human psychology, doesn't it? You know, that need for feedback, a bit of competition, maybe some recognition, and using that to make a difference.
So when we talk about gamification here, are we thinking simple apps like points for switching off lights? Or is it more involved, maybe like neighborhood competitions to cut carbon footprints?
It's actually both and everything in between. It could be a simple app showing your energy use in real time, giving you badges for hitting goals. Or, yeah, like you said, a whole community platform, maybe schools competing to use less electricity with, live leaderboards.
Right.
It just makes something that was abstract, just a number on a bill, into something interactive, a challenge you can engage with right now and see results.
And that's the engine driving this growth. Turning the chore into a challenge.
That seems to be the core of it, yeah. That shift is what's fueling this market's acceleration.
Okay, let's get into the big picture then, the overall global market numbers.
Let's do it.
The report puts the value at just over, $2.6 billion back in 2021?
That's the starting point, yes.
But here's where it gets really interesting. All right, 2025, just next year, it's projected to hit over $4.2 billion.
A pretty significant jump in just a few years.
And then, hold on, by 2033, we're looking at a massive $11.1 billion.
Wow.
That's a compound annual growth rate, that's the CAGR, consistently near 13% for like over a decade.
That kind of figure, nearly quadrupling in value in just over 10 years. That's not just solid growth. That's screaming mainstream adoption.
Right.
That kind of speed tells you these gamified solutions aren't niche anymore. They're not just experiments.
So broad acceptance by individuals, businesses?
Exactly. By consumers, sure, but also increasingly by companies, even governments. They're seeing these tools are genuinely effective for hitting energy targets. It really points towards a future where, dealing with our energy use could be way more interactive than we currently think.
That's a huge shift. So this incredible growth, it's not happening evenly everywhere, is it?
Yeah.
Where are the real hotspots? Who are the key players pushing this?
No, you're right. It's not uniform. Growth is definitely global, but certain regions are really setting the pace or showing just incredible potential. It's fascinating seeing the different dynamics continent by continent.
Okay, so where should we start? The report mentions Asia-Pacific as dominating growth potential. What's the story there, numbers-wise?
Yeah, APAC is... Well, it's a huge story. They started around $700 million in 2021.
Okay.
But the projection for 2033, over $3.3 billion.
Wow, nearly a five-fold increase.
Exactly. Driven by a KGR close to 14%. It really highlights this, explosion of adoption happening there.
Any specific countries driving that?
Oh, definitely. China is a massive piece of that puzzle. They're expected to go from about $220 million to over $1 billion by 2033.
Huge.
But India is particularly interesting. The report flags it for sharp growth. It actually has the highest KGR among the major countries there, nearly 15%.
15%.
Yeah. They're projected to leap from under $90 million to over $450 million in that same time frame.
So it's not just steady growth, it's a real surge, powered by what, large populations, growing awareness.
I think that's a big part of it. Plus, you've got strong growth in places like Japan and Singapore, too, both showing KGRs over 13 or 14%.
Okay, incredible potential in APAC. But who's the current leader, the established base?
Yeah.
That's North America, right?
That's right. Even with APAC growing so fast, North America has that larger foundational market size right now.
So what do their numbers look like?
North America was just under $1 billion in 2021. $959 million, roughly.
Okay.
And it's projected to get close to $3.9 billion by 2033. still nearly quadrupling.
With what kind of growth rate?
A solid CGR, around 12.4%.
And the U.S. is the big driver there, I assume.
Absolutely. The U.S. alone was almost $800 million of that initial market in 2021.
Wow.
And it's projected to hit over $3.1 billion by 2033. Just very consistent, strong expansion.
It's from Canada.
Also important contributors, yeah. Both showing strong double-digit KGRs themselves, around 13.2% for Canada and 12.6% for Mexico. It shows the whole concept is really embedded and still growing across the continent.
Got it. Okay, let's hop across the Atlantic. Europe, similar story to North America, or are there differences?
Europe's definitely showing strong, consistent growth, too. It started at over $500 million in 2021.
Right.
And it's projected to clear $2.2 billion by 2033. The average growth rate is just over 12%, quite similar to North America overall.
But you mentioned nuances earlier.
Yeah, within Europe, it's interesting. Germany, for instance, looks really strong. It's projected to more than quadruple its market size, with a CGR over 13%.
Okay.
The UK and France are also pretty significant markets, growing healthily around 12.7% and 11.8% respectively.
So strong across the board.
Mostly, but you do see contrasts, like Luxembourg is mentioned as an example of slower growth, still growing, but its CGR is under 10%.
Interesting.
It just highlights that even with a positive overall trend, things like local policy, existing tech infrastructure, they can really affect the pace in specific places.
Makes sense. So it's clear this isn't just a U.S., Europe, China thing. What about other regions? South America, Middle East, Africa? Are they getting in on this gamification action too?
Oh, absolutely. The data really backs up that this is a truly global trend. It seems to have a pretty universal appeal, this idea of making efficiency engaging.
Okay, give us some highlights. South America.
South America shows a really impressive overall SAR, just over 13%. And Argentina actually stands out there with growth close to 14%.
Wow. And the Middle East.
Not far behind. Overall SAR, again, just over 13%. The UAE is showing particularly robust growth, also nearing 14%.
And Africa.
Africa's overall SAR is strong, too, over 12%. And within that, South Africa's performing really well, with a growth rate over 13%.
So it really is widespread, from established economies to rapidly developing markets.
Exactly. This shift towards gamified energy solutions, it seems to be accelerating pretty much everywhere.
Okay. We've thrown around a lot of numbers, billions of dollars, growth rates across continents. Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
What does all this actually mean for you, listening right now?
Yeah. What's the takeaway?
How does this connect to everyday life or the bigger energy picture?
Well, I think these numbers show a really fundamental, measurable shift. It's not just about rules or vague green goals anymore.
Right.
It's about making saving energy tangible, personal, competitive even, and yeah, maybe even fun, through these game mechanics.
So the market growth proves the concept works.
I think so. Its acceleration suggests gamification isn't just a gimmick. It's actually proving to be a really effective tool. It's moved from being kind of a niche idea to a serious economic and social driver for sustainability.
It's like the practical application of behavioral science almost.
Exactly. It shows that when you give people engaging, interactive tools, you can genuinely shift behavior on a really large scale.
Yeah, understanding these trends isn't just about market stats, is it? It's kind of a shortcut to seeing how technology, our own behavior, and environmental impact are all connecting in new ways.
That's a great way to put it.
Making energy use visible, making it rewarding. It seems like a real game changer, literally.
So just to kind of wrap up the core insight here, this global energy efficiency gamification market, it isn't just growing, it's accelerating, it's surging across every major region. The numbers really paint a picture of a sector with just immense future potential. Potential for innovation, sure, but also for real, measurable impact on how much energy we all use. The momentum is just undeniable.
So the final thought for you to maybe mull over, as this market keeps exploding, what does that actually unlock?
Yeah, what new possibilities open up?
For you as an individual, maybe for collective action, how could this boom in gamified energy solutions totally redefine our daily habits, our expectations around sustainable living, maybe in the next 10 years or so?
What could that future look like?
Exactly. What does that growth really enable?